Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel and to some more turkey patterning, and today we've got a new choke to try out with a load that we haven't tested on the channel in a good long while, and I know a lot of you guys have really been wanting to see me test one of these chokes, so I finally found a really good deal on one, so I had to pick it up so we could actually test it and see what kind of results we can get out of it. But as for the shells we've brought out here today, I got out some of the Remington Premier TSS loads, but these ones are a 410 3-inch 13/16 ounce payload of TSS 9-shot, moving about 1100 feet per second. It's been a good long while since we've tested any of these Remington 410 TSS loads on the channel, and from my experience, they've been very mediocre. They've always been good enough to get the job done, but I don't believe we've ever seen anything that I would call impressive out of them at the same time, so I would call them very middle of the road at best, as of right now anyway, but who knows, maybe today's choke might be the perfect combination for them. But as for the setup we're going to run them through today, I brought out my Mossberg 500 410. This one has a 24-inch barrel on it, but for that new choke, I picked up a Jebs extra full turkey choke. Now this is their extra full, it's not the extra full, and I believe their extra full is supposed to measure out at a 385. This particular one I have is a 384 construction, so very close, but those minor differences can make a big difference in pattern when it comes to a 410 especially. So we'll see what this Jebs extra full can actually give us today. But as for today's test, everything is set up the same as usual. The turkey paper's at 40 yards, and we've got the chronograph so we can get our velocity out of the shells. So let's get you guys a view of that target and see how the Remington 410 TSS loads can perform through this Jebs extra full. Is this going to be the perfect combination for them? I don't know, but let's go over here and take our shot and see what kind of a pattern it gives us. Alright, that shell gave us 1135 through the chrono. The boss claim is 1100. So from that 24-inch barrel, plus a little bit of choke sticking out of the end, we saw a little bit over that claim, but that's about what I would expect to see out of these, is right around 1100 or maybe low 1100s. So we're looking very much normal up here for our velocity, but what kind of a pattern did they give us through that Jebs extra full down there at 40? Let's go check it out and see what we got. Alright, so now we're down here at our 40-yard paper, and I gotta say, it ain't very impressive, but that's quite honestly about what I expected out of these shells. Now, would we have had a dead bird? Yes. We have multiple of them right through the brain there, and a couple more down the spine, so you would have absolutely gotten that turkey at 40. But I'd say that this is about the limitations for what I would ever push these shells to. You're gonna be fine at 40, but at 45, you might very well miss that turkey, or wound that bird, which is not at all what you want to do. For a core, I do think the pattern was pretty centered up, so what you see on the turkey paper right there, it's kind of what you get. To be fair, there's nowhere on that turkey paper that he can move to and get away from you, but you definitely don't have any kind of hot core at all. Outside of that, we do have several big noticeable voids. There's a couple over there on the left, just off the edge of the turkey paper, and several more just all the way around the edges here, no doubt about it. The entire pattern as a whole is pretty broad and all over the place. There's a bunch of little flyers and stringy stuff up there at the top and several more down at the bottom down there. So is this a good 410 turkey pattern? Definitely not. Is it good enough to kill turkeys with it out to 40 yards? Yes, but it's not a combination that I would want to use. And that's kind of been the story with a lot of Remington shells in general, regardless of if they're 410, 20 gauge, 12 gauge, whatever. It's kind of always been the same result. They're good enough to get you a 40-yard turkey, but they're nothing impressive, and there's several other options right on the exact same store shelf that are better than them by a long shot. Now, for what it might be worth, this could be a very good youth combination or new hunter combination, where you're most likely going to be taking a 25-yard shot, so you do want a little bit of extra leeway and wiggle room to work with, but you might find yourself in a 30 or 35-yard shot scenario to where this would still do it. So maybe for that youth hunter or new hunter, this is a good combination for you. It would absolutely work just fine, and it would give them a little more room to work with side to side if they miss the bird a little bit. So maybe that's a positive for some people, but otherwise not super impressive. I was hoping maybe that new Jebs extra full might be the perfect combination for these, but I don't think it is. This is very much the same thing we've always seen. It's just not super impressive. There's really not a whole lot of other things to say about it. It's good enough, but not what I would really want to use. And off the same store shelf at Cabela's or Bass Pro, for cheaper, you can get the Herder shells or the new Winchester Longbeard TSS shells, which are both significantly better than this. So for me, not the combo I'm looking for, and about what I expected to see, unfortunately. And here's the wad out of that shell. Very standard 410 looking equipment here. We did have one pedal open a little farther than the rest, but that's not too unusual. The problem here is we have a ton of pellets stuck down in the bottom of that wad. Now, in a 12 gauge or something, would those 10 pellets or so make a difference? No. But in a 410, with the pattern that we just saw, these could have absolutely made the difference for you. And it seems like the Remington shells are the biggest offenders for doing this, which I'm not a fan of. They pretty much always have pellets stuck down in the bottom of their 410 wads. So although nothing looks unusual, this is very much the standard for what we do see out of these shells. I really just don't like the pellets stuck down in the bottom of that. Alright y'all, well, what did you think about that pattern right there? I think we've pretty well already covered it. There's just not anything super impressive to see there. Would it have gotten you that turkey at 40 yards? Yes, it would have done the job. But it's definitely not the combination that I would want to use in a 410. If you're a close range hunter or taking a youth hunter out or something like that, that might be exactly what you want to see, because it's going to give you a little more breathing room at those closer ranges. But ultimately, there's just way better options out there for 410. Any kind of fancy high end or custom load is going to way outperform that. And even off the exact same big box store shelf, there's better offerings out there. Literally pretty much everything except for maybe the Federal TSS loads are better than that. The Winchester Longbeard TSS, the Herder's TSS, even the Browning TSS shells, which I believe are also made by Winchester, just like the Herder shells. But all three of those are better options than this. And even the Fiocchi Golden Turkey TSS shells are way better than that. So for me, these shells just aren't really worth it. But I guess leave all your thoughts down below. Is that about what you expected to see? Were you a little surprised one way or the other? Have you tested any of these Remington Premier TSS 410 shells? And if so, what kind of results have you seen? Would you hunt with that pattern or that combination? Or is it just a little too broad and all over the place for you? And what other shells do you want to see us run through that Jebs extra full? I've got a variety of them, so let me know what you guys might want to see. At the end of the day, it's just not a super impressive pattern, but I don't think it's too surprising either. I was hoping that Jebs might be a magical combination for them, but in reality, that's probably about what a lot of us expected to see. So I guess with that being said, I've got some more testing to get done for you guys, so I'm going to get back to it. As always, we have the channel Instagram as well as the mailbox where you can send stuff if you'd like. All the information will be in the description if you're interested in it, but I'm going to get back to it, so I'll see y'all in the next one.